Thanks for tuning into Electric Bike Journal. If you're looking for a vehicle replacement, something to transform your life for going to work, getting your groceries, or even taking the kids to school, an electric cargo bike might be the ideal bike to fit your life. We've had the Xtracycle Swoop here for the last few months, and we've done just that. We've parked the car and tried to use it as much as possible to live our day-to-day life throughout the week and see what it's really like to just live on two wheels. The Xtracycle Swoop is a Class 1 long-tail electric cargo bike. This Shimano-powered, steel-framed, very versatile electric bike is perfect for commuters and families. With a large carrying capacity up to 400 pounds, this is an ideal bike for people that are looking to carry their bags, carry groceries, or even carry kids around. Well, first up, when it comes to the Swoop and a long-tail electric cargo bike, what we see here is that long tail. It's a long rear end with a 20-inch wheel underneath there and a 26-inch wheel up front. Xtracycle has made the Swoop with a 4130 Chromoly Steel frame, which is great for carrying that extra load in cargo, but also taking down some of the road vibration and dampness. As you can see, this bike doesn't have any suspension, and if it were made out of a rigid, stiff aluminum, it would be very chattery on the road. That steel frame is able to absorb a lot of that vibration and offer a very smooth ride. Along with that 26 and 20-inch wheel size, it is paired with Schwalbe Super Moto X tires at 2.4-inch width. These tires are very great for all commuter bikes, honestly. They're one of our favorite commuter bike tires on the market. They have a nice reflective stripe around the sidewall of the tire, which adds to visibility from lights hitting it. And they're also just a very good compound of tire and grip very well in a large range of conditions, specifically wet roads like we have right now here in Oregon. Wrapping up the geometry and frame characteristics of this bike, we have a very short seat tube, which allows for dropping that seat very low for shorter riders and being able to raise it and extend it up higher for taller riders like myself. At 6 feet, I'm able to bring that seat post up and get very appropriate leg extension, and the step-through frame makes it easy to get on and off the bike, especially with cargo on the back. You don't have to swing your leg up and over. The Swoop has a frame mount on the front to hold a front rack directly to the frame, so it's not supported on your fork and stays fixed as the handlebars turn back and forth. The handlebars themselves are a nice pullback, swooping handlebar, which offers a very comfortable upright riding position for all riders. I never once felt like my reach was too far. It was just very comfortable, upright, and right there. In the rear, the Swoop has a rack. Right now I have this pannier bag on there that I can release and remove, and this rack fits to the frame and is able to carry all of your cargo. There are a bunch of accessories from Xtracycle, like this pannier bag, these baskets that fold down from the side, and a pad that goes across the top here, designed for kids and letting them sit on that. And then they have an attachment as well that connects on the front and rear of that rack and extends up to create a hoop. So if you do have kids in the back there, they have some sort of protection and handrail to grab onto when you're riding them around. Wrapping up that frame design is two open-ended tubes on the front and rear of that rear section. And there's these open-ended hoops that can slide in there to create a nice rail to protect impact, as well as support these bags when they're down, or offer a good footrest for a passenger in the back if their legs reach that far. Lastly, the Xtracycle has lights on both the front and rear that are integrated and come on as you're riding the bike at all times, and there are front and rear fenders. Now, the power on the Swoop is derived from a Shimano EP8 mid-drive motor and a 630 watt-hour removable battery. Stopping power is supplied from Tektro hydraulic disc brakes, both front and rear, with nice 180mm rotors to apply very necessary and comfortable braking power when out on the road. Well, that Shimano motor is then paired to a SRAM NX 11-speed drivetrain, which offers a very wide ratio of gearing and a very strong platform to help pedal this bike with cargo on it all around town and up and down hills. When it comes to riding the Swoop, there are two things that come to mind that make this bike a very enjoyable bike to ride. One of them is that very comfortable reach and stack height. Between myself and other riders, everyone felt very relaxed and comfortable in an upright position. Having the seat at the right height and reaching out for those bars, it gave them a lot of confidence and made them feel very instantly comfortable when riding this bike. In addition, between myself and other riders and testers, that extra length that you get in the back end of the bike, giving it that longer wheelbase, across the board, nobody mentioned that it felt uncomfortable. They all said it was very easy to ride around, and I think that does come a lot from just the overall riding posture. And it sets you up for success so that when you do have that extra length behind you, it doesn't feel uncomfortable. I did notice though, when there is weight back there, you do feel it. It's gonna happen, and you can feel the weight shift back and forth. So you do wanna be very intentional on this bike or any cargo bike with weight in the back or in the front, that you have that weight balanced. Otherwise, as you get higher up to those max capacities, you will definitely feel the bike shift back and forth, which is not ideal, but it's easy to recover from and shift some things around to get the right balance. We do think that this bike really is a good option for families, especially younger families with 1 or 2 kids. The rear rack there at 30 inches long, paired with that pad and the hoop system that goes around you, really gives you a safe option for kids to hang on to and grab, as well as a comfortable pad to sit on. Now, for the average rider commuting around town, a 30 to 60 mile range on this bike is going to be more than enough to run your errands, drop the kids off at school, and then run it backwards and pick them up and get home. Overall though, if you are riding it every single day, to have to charge it every other day for an average typical commute around town is not that bad, and a pretty good trade-off when you're just pulling it in the garage and plugging it in. When considering how this bike performs, from the overall geometry to the drivetrain, that Shimano EP8 motor is a very, very wonderful motor to have paired on this bike. It offers ample power, the tune on it is very good, and the 3 different modes that it does offer, it supplies the right amount of power. And with that 11-speed drivetrain, you have plenty of gears to get through to make it up those steep hills and cruise on those flats and hold that 20 mile an hour Class 1 rated max speed. At $5,000, it's definitely an investment. However, we do believe that Xtracycle has very much so appropriately priced this bike with high quality components and a high quality construction. The steel frame, the Shimano motor, the SRAM drivetrain, and having 4-piston Tektro hydraulic disc brakes to meet the quality of this frame, and it does ride and perform very well. I didn't speak to it as much, but the front rack actually became a very useful rack to use for myself, as I didn't want to put maybe a backpack or anything on the back or have to undo those bags. So if I wasn't using this pannier bag on there and just had a standard backpack, to throw that on the front rack and throw a quick strap on it while riding, to have eyes on it and know how it's doing as I go, made me feel very comfortable. And that rack really is perfect to carry a backpack or a larger bag. It's just something that you want to have eyes on while you're riding, and maybe don't want it behind you in case something bounces loose or falls out and it's not stuck on the road behind you. In addition to the high quality component spec and the high quality frame and overall construction of this bike, we really like that Xtracycle offers a pretty well-rounded list of accessories for this bike. From the hoops in 2 different options for when kids are back there, and the butt pad, and this backpack pannier hybrid bag, the front rack, and even a bag to go on that front rack. There's a lot of things that you can order and customize your order and your Swoop for you without having to reach out to other manufacturers or other dealers for parts that you hope will fit right. These are all things that fit perfectly for this bike. We think that's really important and really cool to see from Xtracycle, that when you're offering this SUV kind of do everything sort of bike, that they have that accessory list to back it up and have an immediate solution for the demands of your lifestyle. Well, thanks again for watching. If you have any questions or there was anything I wasn't able to answer you, leave those comments down below and I'll be sure to answer that. And if I don't have an answer, I will reach out to Xtracycle and share an answer back with you. Likewise, if you have any feedback for Xtracycle or just any praise for the cool bikes that they are making, I'm sure they'd love to hear that, and we'll be sure to pass that along to them. Also, if you haven't heard, we are doing 2 bike giveaways right now. And if you want a chance to take home a bike on us, all you gotta do is find those videos here on the channel and they will be linked here at the end. Leave a comment on that video, subscribe to this channel, and that's it. You're entered in to win a free e-bike, and we'll get that out to you when the time comes. Again, thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.